Hello children, and today welcome to our geography session, lesson number 4. Today we are going to learn lesson number 4, maps. Children, in the last lesson we have seen about the motions of the earth, right? Motions of the earth, that is rotation, revolution. Then we have seen about the summer solstice, we have seen about winter solstice, again equinox. And today we are going to see about the importance of maps. Why these maps are so important? Why do we refer maps in our day-to-day life? Again we are going to see about the different types of maps and many more things about map. So children, open your book and just we'll start our lesson with maps. Okay, lesson number 4, maps. So the topics which we are going to cover in this lessons are: first we are going to see the introduction of maps, then different types of maps, components of maps, sketch and plan. What is sketch and what is plan? So children, just see these two pictures, okay? What is this? It is an earth and this is a map. So what is the relation between these two things, children? Between this earth and this map? Yes, this map, it is a drawing, right? It is a drawing of this earth's surface on a flat piece of paper, right? So this map, it is a drawing on a flat paper, on a flat surface about the surface of the earth. So this map, where it represents earth's surface on a flat piece of paper according to the scale given. So there are different types of maps, children, okay? So we will see one by one about these different types of maps. So first we will see the introduction of the map. So the map, it is a representation or a drawing of the earth surface on a flat surface according to the scale, okay? So this is a drawing of the earth surface on this flat piece of paper. If you want to study only a part of the earth, say country, state, district, towns, etc., then we use map. Means why do we use map, or when do we use map? We use map when we want to study only a part of a earth surface, okay? Only a part of earth. Like suppose if I want to see only about country India, then I will use this map of India to see the different states, different cities of India. So again, if you want to study about this particular state, then even we get a particular state's map also. Again, it is important to study about the districts and towns, etc. So for all this purpose we use maps. Again, these maps, they are easy to carry, right? Is it easy to carry? Maps are easy to carry or globe is easy to carry? Yes, maps are more easy to carry. You can keep it in your pocket, you can keep in your bags, okay? And they provide more information than globe. And children, these maps, they provide each and detailed information than the globes. Again, there are many types of maps, and when they all are put together, okay, when all these different types of maps, they are put together, then we get an atlas. So what is an atlas? Atlas is a book which contains different types of maps. So all these maps, all different types of countries, all countries of the world, rivers, forest, rainfall, population, etc., whatever we want, all the maps, when they are binded together, then they form a book which is called as an atlas. So atlas, it is a book that carries different types of maps. Next one is, now we are going to see different types of maps, children, okay? So there are 3 types of maps. They are physical map, political map and thematical map. So here now in 6th standard we will see all these 3 types of maps. So first one is, what do you mean by physical map? Physical map is also called as relief maps, okay? So whenever you go across some maps, children, and when you see that maps only mountains are given, or plateaus are given, or they show the information about rivers, oceans, then by using different colors, then we have to identify it as a physical map. Okay. So, we have to, what do you mean by physical map? Physical maps, they show the features of mountains, they show the features of plateaus, they show the features of rivers and oceans. So, by using different colors are called as physical maps. So, now hope you understood what do you mean by physical maps. The maps that shows plateaus, oceans, rivers, etc. Like for example, see, this is your physical map. Okay. This map, it is showing only mountains. See, Aravali is a mountain, okay. Vindhyas, Satpura, then this Chota Nagpur is a plateau, again Deccan plateaus, then it is showing about the ghats like Western Ghat, Eastern Ghat, Western Ghats. So, when a map, it shows the information about rivers, again here you can see rivers, Godavari river, Krishna river, Narmada river. So, when a map, it shows the features like rivers, mountains, plateaus, etc. or oceans. See, even here Bay of Bengal, Arabian Sea. So, such information when you see, then when you will come across, then you have to name it as a physical map. It means that is a physical map. Now, second one, we will see what do you mean by political map. Political map, it shows about the cities. Okay, political map shows about cities, towns, villages, countries, states with their boundaries. So, whenever you come across a map showing countries, cities, towns, etc. with their boundaries, then we have to assume it as a political map, means it means that is a political map. Again we will see a diagram of political map, children. This is an example of political map. Okay. So, here you can see the name of the states, again you can see the capital of the state and cities. Okay. So, it is a map of India where the cities, towns, states are located. So, it means which map it is? It is a political map. Political map means it shows the features of cities, towns, villages, districts, etc. Now, again third one is thematical map. So, what do you mean by thematical map? Thematical map means it focus on special information. It is very important, children. Okay, only on a special information it focuses more on a particular or special information, like such as roads. If you want to show only the roads, highways, the roads between highways, national highways, then we use thematical maps. Again, if you want to show the population of a particular state or a particular country, or if we want to show the rainfall, then or a distribution of forest, then we use thematical maps. Or even if you want to show the industries, what type of industries are located in which place, so that time we use thematical maps. So, thematical maps means it gives information on a particular topic, or it focuses on a special information, like the information may be on roads, it may be on rainfall, it may be on distribution of forest, etc. or industries, etc. So, here is again a picture, an example of thematical map, children. See, it is given population map, means this map it is showing the information only about population, means how much population is there in this state. Okay. So, this is called as thematical map. It shows the distribution of population, it shows about forest, rainfall, roads, etc. So, here we have seen different types of maps. So, what are these different types of maps you have learned, children? They are physical map or relief maps, again political maps and thematical maps. So, physical maps, what does it shows? Physical map, it shows the mountains, plateaus, rivers, oceans. Then political maps, it shows about cities, countries, states, towns, etc. with their boundaries. And thematical maps, it shows a specific information on roads, maybe roads, highways, maps, maybe on rainfall distribution or distribution of forest or industries. So, these are the different types of maps. This is physical map, political map and thematic map. Now, we will go to next topic, that is the components of map. So, what are these components of map? So, there are three components of maps. They are distance, symbols and direction. So, it is very important. What are the features of three important features of maps? Every map, it should have distance, it should have symbols and it should have direction, it should show the direction. So, now we will go in brief about these three components of maps. First one is distance. Okay. So, as we know that maps are drawings, okay, that reduce the entire world or a part of it to fit on a paper. Means if you want to give an information of the entire world, so that can be reduced and that can be fit on a paper by using the maps. But distance on a map is shown by using the scale. Means on the map the distance which we show, it is shown by using the scale. So, it is a very important feature of the scale is one of the most important feature of this maps. So, maps are drawn to reduce the scale. Actually, exact scale whatever is there, that we cannot draw. So, we have maps are used to reduce the scale, and it is possible only when small distance on a paper represents a large distance on the ground. So, scale, what is scale? Scale, it is a ratio between actual distance on the ground and the distance shown on the map. Like for example, the distance between your school and home is 10 kilometer. Okay, you just imagine, assume that distance between your school and your home is 10 kilometer. So, this 10 kilometer we cannot see we cannot show exactly by drawing 10 kilometer scale on the map. So, for this purpose what we do? It is not possible to show 10 kilometer on a map, and so what we do? We will reduce the scale by showing 10 kilometer as 2 centimeter, right? We cannot draw the 10 kilometers on the paper on map. So, what we do? We reduce 10 kilometer to 2 centimeter. Okay, we just assume that this 10 kilometer is equal to 2 centimeter on maps. On a map means, okay. So, we reduce the scale by showing 10 kilometer as 2 centimeter on a map, which means 1 centimeter will be equal to 5 kilometers. Means here we have to assume, there we have to write, we have to mention there scale, that 1 centimeter is equal to 5 kilometers. It means your school is 10 kilometers. Then how much distance you will show? You will show 2 centimeter. Thus, carefully reduction of scale is very important. Okay, children. So, we have to reduce the scale, but it should be carefully done, because it is very important to calculate the distance between any two places on a map. Again, so hope you understood here why we use scale. Scale is used to reduce the actual distance, okay, of the ground and on the map. Again this distance, it is further divided into small scale map and large scale map. Okay. Again it is further divided into two types, small scale and large scale. So, what do you mean by small scale map? Small scale map means when large areas like countries, continents are to be shown on paper, then we use small scale maps. Like 5 centimeter shows 500 kilometer. Okay. So, when we want to show a large areas like countries, big countries we have to show, when we have to show the continents, then we use small scale map. Here we reduce the scale, okay, of the map. Like if you want to show 500, here we reduce 500 kilometer to 5 centimeter and we show the distance. Again next one is large scale map. So, large scale map, when a small area like village, town is to be shown on a paper, then we use large scale, that is 5 centimeter on a map shows 500 meters. Now suppose if you want to give the information only about a small village or a town, okay, small area, if you want to give a if you want to show the information. So here we use large scale, okay. Here means here 5 centimeter can be shown for 500 meters. So this was the difference between small scale map, large scale map, and again why distance is important and why scale is important. So scale is very important on maps to be shown. See children, you may find in find the scale given like that, huh? So whenever you see a maps, there you will find the scale given like this, okay, miles, kilometers. So this is what scale, we call it as scale. Next we will see about directions, okay. So we all know, we are studying from LKG, UKG, what are the 4 directions? We all know there are 4 major directions, okay. East, west, north, south. These are called as cardinal directions, okay. So what are cardinal directions? The 4 major directions like east, west, north, south are called cardinal points. Then again we have other intermediate directions like northeast, northwest, southeast, southwest. So these 4 are called intermediate directions, and these are the major directions, east, west, north, south, they are the major cardinal points. We can, why directions are used children? Directions, they are used to locate the places, okay. They are used to locate any place accurately with the help of these intermediate directions. Even on maps you can see there will be an arrow, okay, showing, just a minute, okay, it is not here, I will show in the next map. So most of the times they give the arrow like this and they write north, it means this side of the map will be north, it will be showing north direction. So we can locate any place more accurately with the help of these intermediate directions. So these intermediate directions, they help to locate this, to locate the places more accurately. Most of the maps contains arrow mark with letter N at the upper right hand corner, which makes us easy to find the other directions. Means not all the maps, but most of the maps, they have arrow mark with letter N at the upper right hand. So by locating this N, we can find out other directions very easily. Again one more important term is compass. You know compass is also used to locate the direction. So compass is also used to find out the main direction. It's, what does it have children? What does this compass has? The compass, it has a magnetic needle, okay, and that always point north and south direction. See this picture, okay, this is a compass and this always points the north and south direction, okay. So it has a magnetic needle, this compass, it has a magnetic needle that will always show you proper direction, and it always points the north and south direction. So once you know, come to know where is north and where is south, then you can easily locate east and west directions and you can proceed accordingly. So here what we have learnt about directions. What are the cardinal points? The 4 major cardinal points are east, west, north, south, and other directions are called as intermediate directions. They are northeast, northwest, southeast and southwest. So these directions, why they are important? They are important to locate any place more accurately. Again, most of the maps, they contain a mark, they contain an arrow mark as letter N at the upper right hand, which makes us easy to find the direction. And lastly, we have seen about compass. It is used to find the main direction with its magnetic needle. Now the third most important component of map is symbols. Okay. So symbols, it is the third most component. Symbols, what are symbols? They are the drawing actual shape and size of the roads, bridges, buildings, trees, railway lines are not possible. So these are shown by using certain letters, shades, colors, pictures and lines. Means on a map we cannot draw. If you want to show airport, we cannot draw airport. If you want to show railway lines, we cannot show railways. So what we do, we just take the out, we just draw actual shape and size is not possible. So these symbols are used for maps. These symbols, they give lot of information in a limited space. Okay. They require very small space. There is an international agreement regarding the use of these symbols and they are called as conventional symbols. So conventional symbol means the symbols which are used by, followed by all the countries of the world. That is called, and there was an international agreement, means all the countries, they made an agreement that the same symbol should be used for all the maps, and that is called as conventional symbols. Again, various colors are used to identify these symbols. Example, even colors are used, like for water we use blue color, again for mountains we use brown color, then yellow for plateaus and green for plains. So these are the symbols, children. Okay. Like rivers, we show this symbol. If you want to show an hospital, we cannot draw a hospital, so we show this by using this symbol plus. Again for mountains we draw like this. Then if you want to show an airport, we will draw the picture of aeroplane. Then if you want to show a capital, like this circle and dot. Again if you want to show railways, we will show this symbol. Okay. Then for road, we draw these two lines, and this is the dot dot is used for showing the path. So these again international boundaries, a thick line drawn shows the international boundaries. Again a thin line drawn is used to state boundaries, and if you want to show district boundary, then you have to use this dash 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 dash. Okay. So these are the symbols of convention, these are some pictures of conventional symbols. Again these are few more symbols. Okay, you will get in your textbook also. Places of worship, footpath, villages, railway lines. Now we will come to next topic of our lesson, that is sketch. So children, your drawing teachers, they must be telling you in the class, okay, to draw a sketch of children playing in the garden, or to draw a sketch of your house or of your school, right? So at that time what do? First we imagine, right? First we imagine that picture in our mind, and then based on this imagination, based on this memory observation, we start drawing, right? First we make a sketch, we don't draw, first we make a light sketch. So this is called, so that's what we are going to study now about sketch. Sketch map. So what do you mean by sketch map? It is a drawing based on memory. Okay, based on memory, whatever we see, whatever we have observed, that thing we imagine and we draw. So sketch is a drawing based on memory and spot observation, and this is not to scale. Okay, this is very important. Here scale is, measurement is not given. It is just a drawing based on our memory and spot observation. Like for example, children, if your mother, okay, at home, if she tells you to purchase, to buy some, to bring something from a grocery shop, okay, then what you will do? If suppose you don't know where is the grocery shop, then what you will do? Your mummy will guide you, right? She will tell you, see, you have to go like this. First you go out of your, when you go out of your house, you have to go straight, then you have to take left turn, then there you will find a building, an apartment. Then from that apartment you move to right side, then there you will find a big supermarket or a shop where you can find this grocery item. So go and bring that item from that particular shop. So this, so what how your mother has guided you. Same, these are called, so this guidance you can draw and even show to help someone. Okay. So, this is what called as a sketch. For example, if you want to go to your friend's house, but you do not know the way. Okay. For one more example here you take, if you want to go to your friend's house, but you do not know the way, then what your friend will tell you? He will guide you on your phone, or he may help you by drawing a sketch. He may tell you, see, this is a sketch what your friend might have done, or even you can do this. Okay. Draw. So, your friend may guide you by drawing a rough sketch to show the way to your house, to his house. So, such rough drawing is without a scale is called a sketch. Just imagine, suppose you are staying here, okay, and your friend is staying here in Basantpur. So, what he will do? He will just draw a rough drawing and he will guide you how to go to his house. Like from your house you have to go straight, then you have to take a right turn, then from there you will find a footpath. From that footpath you have to go straight, then you have to go to north direction, north side. There you will find a park or garden, and near that garden you will find a church, and near that church your friend's house will be there. So, like that he will draw a rough, he may draw or you may draw a rough sketch, and you can help each other to locate the place. So, what are the sketch? Sketch are drawing based on memory and observations. Okay. Now, the last part of your lesson is plan. If just when you remember when this plan comes to your mind, then what strikes children? Plan. A plan of a house, a plan of a room, right? Many engineers, architects, they do this. When an engineer, he constructs a building, then before constructing a building, what does he does? First he makes the plan, he makes the layout of his building on a sheet of paper, right, to show how that building will look exactly. So, here a plan, it is a drawing of small area on a large scale. Means suppose if a person, if an engineer, he wants to show the plan of a house, of a room, then what he will do? He will not draw a plan that room on a small paper, right. What he will do? He will draw that small area on a large scale, so that each and every details of that particular room can be shown to the other persons. So, a plan, it is a drawing of small area on a large scale. A large scale map, it gives, this is what a large scale map, okay. So, it gives a lot of information, but if we want to know the length and breadth of a room, it can't be shown on a map. Can you show a small room with its length and breadth on a map? No, we cannot show. So, for this we have to refer a plan. So, if we want to show a room with proper length, how much length it is, how much breadth it is, what is the layout of the room. So, here we have to refer the drawings to a scale called plan. So, plan of an area, it consists of details about length and breadth of particular location. That is, for example, area of a house we can see, children, this is a plan, okay. So, a small area can be shown on a large scale paper. So, here is a plan of a room, okay, balcony, washroom, everything it is given here on detail. So, children, this is what your lesson was. Just we will have today whatever we have read in this lesson, we will have a short, okay. So, first we have seen different types of maps, okay, physical map, political map and thematical map. Then we have, these are the pictures of maps, okay, thematical maps. Physical maps means mountains, rivers, oceans. Again, political maps means cities, towns and villages, and thematical map means particular information about population, forest, etc. Then we have seen components of maps, that is 3 components: distance, symbols and directions, okay. These are the distance, direction and symbols. These 3 are the main components of maps which every map should have. Again, we have seen what is sketch. sketch is a drawing based on our memory and observation. It is not based on a scale. Again plan, it is based on scale children, okay. So it is a drawing of small area on a large scale, and this is what a plan is. So children, hope you have understood this lesson very well. Go through this lesson. Next session we will be reading the lesson and solving the exercise of the lesson. So till then, meet you, goodbye. Thank you.